Hello and welcome to my completely AFK Nodon Slayer Creatures guide. Whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. For this method, you're going to require at least level 92 Slayer to kill the Nodon creatures, 90 plus combat stats, 95 plus prayer, and of course 96 Herblore. The reason you want these stats is because we're going to be AFKing them, and with anything less you're probably going to struggle and you might die while AFKing. Additionally, you're going to want to have level 73 summoning for the Blood Reaver familiar, and the City of Sintistan quest must be complete for the anime dead spell. You don't need the quest to access the area, but you do need the quest for the spell. If you need a guide, link in the description below. As for the armor setup, we're going to be rocking 2 pieces of DPS armor, being Virtus, preferably with the right perks which are important for this task, being Dragon Slayer and Biting. You're going to want to use 2 pieces of tank armor, which in this case are the boots and helmet, or head item slot. But if you have any issues AFKing, you're going to want to start using 3 pieces instead. The reason you want to be using these pieces is because with the anime dead spell, which is a passive spell once activated, you'll reduce your damage per hit. The higher your tank armor's defense is, the better it will be. As for your weapon, use a Noxious Staff. You can get away with a slightly lower tier weapon like the Obliteration, but the Noxious Staff is good here. Cinderbanes of course for extra poison damage, the Rune Pouch for the runes, a Zami Goldbook for extra DPS. This isn't per se required by the way, but it does help. An Amulet of Souls of course to get extra healing from Soul Split, Vampirism Aura for extra heals, and the Luck of the Dwarves Ring. You can also use the upgraded Pontifex Ring for those tier 2 boxes, but I prefer the extra money from rare drops. As for the inventory setup, you want to have some prayer potions or super restores, an aggression potion, your best overload, weapon poison +++, a Blood Reaver familiar which you're going to summon obviously, your cannon which could be an Oldak Call or a Royal Dwarf Cannon. I found the Royal Dwarf Cannon to be slightly better here, and this is without those new upgrades by the way. And of course a Charming Potion for extra charms if you want those. In your rune pouch or just in your inventory, you want to bring along Soul, Death, Earth, and Blood runes, as we're going to be using Animate Dead and Bloodburst. Bloodburst does the exact same damage at a high magic level as Blood Barrage, so there's no reason to use Blood Barrage. As for the relic setup, the relic setup on screen is the most AFK relic setup at 500 monolith energy. If you want to pick up the bones noted automatically and you have that upgraded Bone Crusher, you can swap out Death Ward to use Death Note instead. But we want to AFK. You want to walk away from your PC, and this is how to do it. For this method, you're going to want to be in Legacy Combat mode, and you'll want to set your Auto Retaliate on. You'll also want to turn on Area Loot in your loot settings as well. In terms of getting there, you can simply use the PVMR portal as long as it's still the newest boss in the game, but once a new boss is added to the game, next month, you will no longer be able to use this portal. Instead, you'll have to teleport to the Archaeology Guild using your journal, run to this location as seen on screen, and walk there manually. This isn't necessarily a problem because you're going to want to walk to Nex anyway to activate her ability or battlefield ability. You do that by right-clicking her and choosing Battlefield Ability. This ability is incredibly useful if you're low HP and you want to heal up during the AFK session. Now we're going to sit at this location, at the Artificers. This is because they are the easiest to kill without getting attacked by a bunch of other ones, including the cannons, which really do hurt. Also, the Artificers and Engineers, the 2 ones you'll be attracting, are a lot easier to hit in terms of accuracy because those are mages and melee variants. That wasn't a Loki reference, by the way. Now, the other side has a bunch of Rangers, which are weak against melee, but will be harder to hit for you using magic. This spot seems to be the best for magic legacy AFKing, as other spots had some buggy issues, where my cannon would stop dealing damage against enemies out of range, and the melee ones wouldn't be able to hit me, and it didn't work, okay? So yeah, this spot seems to work very well, especially if you stand right in the middle of your cannon. You should be able to AFK completely as long as your anime dead spell is up, your prayer doesn't drop, which happened quite a bit to me actually. But if you're low HP, just use that special ability and heal up, or use some of your emergency food, and that's really all you need to know about doing this method. It is simply keeping your buffs active and having a, like a third eye on your health just in case something goes wrong. As for the drops, you won't be able to area loot everything on PC. I do think mobile will give you more range if you are AFKing these on mobile. The drops are fairly good actually, but they won't be making you that much money, especially because you're using runes in Legacy Combat mode. But other than that, the standard drops aren't too bad. If you're lucky, you'll get one of those cannon upgrade kits, which are like 30 to 40 mil currently. That's where the main money is at. I ended up getting one myself by trying out different spots, and it sold for 40 mil, so I'm happy. In terms of kills per hour, I got about 245 using the Oldak Core and around 267 using the Royal Dwarf Cannon. This means at least 500,000 Slayer experience per hour if you just take the Artificer Slayer XP into account. However, as you might have noticed, the Engineers give you a lot more Slayer experience, and you also kill them every now and then, which means this method is probably closer to 650,000 Slayer experience per hour. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, leave a like down below, and maybe if you consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.